Hi, I'm Domenic with Tormach. I work on the education team here, and I thought I'd do a quick video on how to set up your xsTECH in the classroom and some of the nuances about our software. To start off with, when you look at our software, there's a couple of things to look at. When we set up PathPilot, we did two things. One is we set up our persistent controls at the bottom, and then our notebook at the top. If you look, when you start off, you'll probably be on your main page. The main page will show you all the G code that you're going to be running and also a graphical display of what you're going to be milling. It's very helpful because I can see where my origin is, I can see the size of the part. Next thing we'll go is into the File tab. The File tab is going to be loading all of our files from it. I see all of our files that are currently in the machine. I see all the files that are in my USB drive that I can pull over to the machine. And then finally I can see a preview of what my G code is going to be with each file. Next one will be our Settings tab. This is really helpful if we need any questions on the G code, and it gives us a little bit of information on what our limit switches are on or off. Anything with our settings are in this page. I can also see what G code means, so anytime I have like a reference, I want to see G20 will be on an inch or G21 will be in millimeters. That's all available to me. Next thing I'll go is look at our offset page. This is all of our tools that we currently have in the machine. We can load all kinds of tools in and let it know the software know what our diameter is and what our tool length is. This is going to be very helpful when we're looking at conversational and setting up the milling profile, the tool paths, and also when we change tools, what our lengths are to make sure that it's always correct for milling our Z depth. Our next tab will be our conversational. This has all different kinds of ways to program the machine. Now you might be using CAD software, but if you don't have CAD or CAM, you can program these for basic facing, profiling, pocketing, drilling commands or toolpaths and send it straight to the machine from there. That'll be our conversational. Probes and ETS, we'll show you how to set these up, but this is all of our probing so that you can set up the offsets and make sure it's all set up correctly. And then finally our status. Now if there's any kind of errors or if we're running the machine incorrectly or if maybe we told the machine something that it cannot do, we'll see this on our status page and it'll usually light up that there's a new status. I can click on this and see how to correct it very quickly. Now that's an overview of our notebook. Let's look at our persistent controls. I'll go to our main screen just to kind of see where everything's at. As you see, as I'm clicking through each one of these, our persistent controls always stay on our screen. We have this set up so that all of our locations, turning on the machine, turning off the machine, setting up our origin is always out there for us to see, and we can edit it at any time. Now, if this is the first time you're operating the machine, there's some setups that we'll do. The first thing I wanted to show you is every time you wake up in the morning, you turn the machine on, you should see this screen, and what you're going to see is reference X, Y, and Z, these reference points. What this means is the machine actually, when you turn it on, has no idea if it's here, if it's on Mars, what size it is, all of these different things. It just woke up. So what we're going to do is we're going to establish, we'll hit our reset button. This is normally blinking. And from there, we're going to reference the machine. When we reference the machine, the first thing I'd like to do is definitely click on my reference Y. Now this is a really good habit. I don't know what's in the machine. There might be some work holdings. And this is going to reference our Z axis. It's going to lift our spindle up out of the way. As I'm doing that, it's now lifting it, and it's hitting a limit switch here on top of our machine. So now it hits that limit switch. It knows that this is an xsTECH. It should know the length or distance that it can travel in our Z axis. Next thing I'll do is choose X and Y, and this is an open, right now I have nothing in it, so I don't have to worry about hitting any work pieces, but just keep an eye out when you're referencing the machine because it's just looking for those reference points. It does not know if anything is actually in the machine. I'm going to go ahead and hit my reference Y. You're seeing it just hit the limit switch, and now I'm going to go ahead and reference my X. Now the machine's referenced. How do I know that? If I look at my screen here, I can see that all of these distance to go, everything is set at 0, and all of these are lit up. So I've now referenced my machine. Now reference is completely different than origin, and we'll set up the origin in a second, but referencing is just that. It now knows that I am at my limit switch on the far X, and it has exactly so much distance before I hit my wall on the other side. So to give you an example of that, I'm going to spin this as far over as I can, and it knows there's no limit switch there, but it knows to stop right at that location. Now, if this is the first time you've ever used your machine, you may want to set up your offsets. You can do that by setting up your tool offsets by going to the Offsets tab. I now have all of my tooling here. One thing I can do is just establish and go to tool number 4, And the xsTECH comes with a lot of tooling. So what I can do is I can grab the number off this tool. So I'm looking at 39168. If I go to my offsets page, I can now type in, I can go to tool 4 and type in the number 39168. Now you can notice it automatically auto-populated. When I hit enter, now I've got the spiral zero flute, which is what this is, and it loads, pre-populates the information automatically for me. Notice it gives me my diameter, but it does not give me my tool length. That's okay. I have not established what my tool length is in my machine yet, but the diameter is going to be extremely important. This is one way of loading your tools into PathPilot software. Second way I can do it is I can just click on this line right here and I can type in, this is a 0.25, so at 0.25 in mil. Hit enter. Now I can establish that it's a 0.25 millimeter, or excuse me, 0.25 inch. Hit enter. And there we have that line established for tool number 5. So I can manually enter it in. I can put the number from our Tormach tool catalog right in and it'll automatically populate. The last way we can do it is just upload an entire list of tools and import them into our software. We'll do that now. The last way we can load tools in is we can upload an Excel spreadsheet or any type of spreadsheet file with all of our tools already listed on them and just upload them all at one time. You can go on our forums and find this file. We have it, all of our xsTECH tooling. And what we'll do is we're going to go to our offsets. I'm going to click on import. Now we're going to look for where on our file it is. So I'm going to go to my USB drive. And here on our file, I've already uploaded in our USB drive the tool length, the tool file for all of our xsTECH tool. And we're going to hit OK. And there we have it. It's just automatically uploaded all of our tooling from the first. And now we have that for all the tools that are set up for our xsTECH. What's nice is you can do this for any of our machines as long as you have the Excel or the spreadsheet with those tools listed. All right, so that should set up for all of your tooling and everything should be ready to go for your first run. The last thing we'll talk about is your emergency stop or your e-stop. At any time, if there's an emergency on your machine or it's running incorrectly or you just need it to stop an emergency, you can hit this button. It shuts down the machine, it shuts down where it's at, and I've just turned it all off. Now, a couple things when you do that. One, machine stops, but notice how I now have to reference everything out. So it no longer is in reference. We just cut the power practically between the two. So not a big deal. It sometimes happens. To reestablish the machine, I'm going to get it out of e-stop. So I'm going to turn, if you look closely here, you've got arrows and that's now out of e-stop. I'm going to go ahead and set up the same reference like I just did and we should be up and running. In follow-up, we talked about the basic setup of the xsTECH in the classroom. Our next video will be about our electronic tool setter and how to set that up.